Casting a prop head using a skin of FP-40 polyurethane rubber, that of course is the fast-setting FP-40, and then backing that with a core of TC266 flexible foam. Now the mold that I'm going to be using in this video is one that I made in a two-part video series that I'll link on the end screen, and this mold was made using TC5130F platinum silicone with a support shell of BR75D. So definitely check the end screen for that. And in this video, I'll be showing how to slosh a skin of fast-setting FP-40 polyurethane and how to make it look like realistic skin. And then, of course, backing that with a flexible foam core. Now, FP-40, this is a fast-setting polyurethane rubber. This is used a lot in the product development and rapid prototyping world to make fast-setting, flexible rubber parts. So instead of fast-setting polyurethane plastic or resin, this is a fast-setting polyurethane rubber system. And this mixes 2-to-1 by weight. And this has about a 4 to 4.5 minute working time at room temperature, and then a demold time of about 50 to 70 minutes, again, also at room temperature. And for this product, I recommend pouring this into a platinum silicone mold. This works best in platinum silicone. Tin cure silicone can sometimes give you some cure inhibition on the surface of the polyurethane. So real important, any kind of critical project, I recommend using platinum silicone. This, of course, is a TC5110F platinum silicone mold. And there we have our cured part. And of course, that cures to about a 40 Shore A. Now, FP-40, of course, being a polyurethane, it does have a little bit of a polyurethane kind of smell to it. And of course, you can offset that using the SC30 vanilla fragrance. And that's real popular among the manufacturers of medical simulators. Now on to the skin process. So obviously this can be cast solid for parts like that ear and things like that, but there's applications where you might need a thin skin of that. And FP-40 works great for that because of that fast set time. Now, of course, this is our TC5130F silicone mold. Again, check out the end screen for the link to that video. And that's a two-part video showing both the process of making the brush-on mold as well as the resin support shell. Now for the FP-40 skin, we're going to be doing this in 2 layers. And real important, anytime you're working with FP-40, make sure you shake up that part B really well before each use. And this just ensures that you get consistent results across all the different batches. Now, as you can see in the title there, the FP-40, normally the part B is a clear amber color, but I've already pre-pigmented the part B using a little bit of the phthalate-free white pigment for polyurethane. So I'm dispensing my part B, and here I'm mixing up about 300 grams of part B with 150 grams of part A. So first, after I measure out my part B, I'm going to be adding some flocking to that. I'm doing that instead of pigment, since I already have some of the white pigment in there. I'm supplementing that with flocking colors, and this is just a fine fiber that colors the polyurethane, much like I typically do with silicone. And for any time I'm doing just a general medium flesh tone, I typically use the flesh flocking, the tan flocking, and the red flocking. And I will link all of those in the video description. Now, once I have the flocking added, I'm ready to mix that into that part B. And then again, just remember, as soon as we add the part A, that's when the working time starts. So just be prepared to move fast. 4 to 4.5 minutes goes by pretty quick. So once we get our color right, we're ready to add that part A. And that will change the color slightly, but not drastically, as you'll see here. It actually just makes it a little bit more translucent. So here I'm adding the 150 grams of part A to the 300 grams of part B. And of course, we could also use the phthalate-free polyurethane flesh pigment. You'll see that here in a little bit that I'm adding to the flexible foam. But here I just wanted to use white pigment and flocking, kind of like I do when I'm pigmenting silicone. So now our working time has started, and that fast working time, this is ideal when we're sloshing hollow parts, especially like Batman cowls and masks and things like that, where you need just a thin skin or you're building up a skin in several layers. Now, a quick word about mold release. Now, we're casting this into a silicone mold, so we don't have to use mold release, but for prolonging the lifespan of the mold, you can use E302, which is a paintable mold release, and what that means is that leaves minimal residue, and the residue that is there is easy to wash and clean off of cured parts. So real important there, if you're going to be painting the part later on, make sure to use a paintable mold release. Now what I'm doing here is using a disposable brush to push that FP-40 around into some of the detailed areas like the ears and the nose, and brush it up on the collar and the base of the neck. And I'm doing that before I really start rotationally casting, just to make sure I get a thin membrane of that FP-40 all over the inside of the mold. And then I start sloshing that around by hand and just keep that moving. And sometimes it's handy to use a smartphone timer to keep track of time. And remember that you need to keep that mold moving for about a good 5 minutes or so, because even after it starts to gel a little bit, it'll still slump a little bit if you put it down right at that 4 or 4.5 minute mark. So keep the mold moving, sometimes upwards of 5, even 6 minutes, to make sure you don't get any slumping. And then once you've got everything evenly coated, we're ready to set that down. And I'm going to go ahead and do 2 layers of FP-40. So this is a second layer. Since you saw the mixing process, this second one is done exactly the same way. So the second batch, exactly the same size, 300 grams of B mixed with 150 grams of Part A, and then of course using flocking to pigment that in conjunction with that white phthalate-free polyurethane pigment. And this is where these fast setting formulas, the FP series is part of a fast setting series of polyurethane rubbers, and it's ideal for this kind of application where you're doing a hollow skin, or you're casting fast solid parts, or whatever the case may be. This is a great material for just casting fast skins for foams, or fast props, or any other kind of application where you need quick polyurethane rubber parts. Now again, after I brush it in, I'm sloshing that around, and sometimes I turn it upside down like that just to let it sit in some of the low areas. And then just keep that mold moving for about 5 minutes. And now we are ready to back it with foam. Now, I typically pour the foam pretty soon after I do the last layer of skin. So this is maybe about 15 minutes after that's gelled. We're ready to pour our flexible foam, and I'm using TC266 flexible foam, and this is mixed 1A to 2B. Now this is a variable density flexible foam, and what that means is you can adjust the part A to control the density of the foam. You can make this anything from a 3 to 5 pound density flexible foam. And I'm going to be pigmenting this using some of the 6918 Flesh pigment. Now, flexible foam, just by the nature of its chemistry, this is a very fast-setting material, which is great for fast turnaround time, but that also means you got to be quick on your feet, have everything ready to go. So again, we're mixing this 1A to 2B by weight to get the 3 pound density, and that also means the maximum expansion for this particular foam system. So as soon as I get my part A dispensed into the mixing cup, I'm going to stir that up really good and immediately transfer that to the inside of the mold. There's really no time for even scraping the sides of the cup when you dump that into the silicone mold. So you just want to move absolutely fast, as quick as you can. It really helps to have an extra set of hands at this point. I definitely could have used an extra set of hands at this point when I was pouring into this head mold, but there you can see it can be done as a one-man job. And I usually slosh it a little bit to make sure I get the foam in the ears, and then I let it sit at an angle, and as the foam starts to expand, then I tilt the mold upwards so that it fills the rest of the way. And what that does by letting it start to expand with the foam kind of pooling in the face is that makes sure that I don't get an air bubble in the chin or in the nose. And now once that's set up, that foam just comes straight up out of the neck. So now I'm going to mix up a smaller batch, and I'll be pouring that around the edge. This is about 100 gram batch of B with 50 grams of part A. And again, got to move fast. And what I'm going to do here is use a stir stick to kind of steer that foam as it's expanding. because this will bond really well to that FP-40. Since it's a similar chemistry polyurethane, they're all going to stick together really well. So I'm just using that stir stick to push that foam around as it expands. And now ready to let that sit and fully cure so we can demold it. So typically the demold time on the 266 is pretty fast. It's only about 20 or 30 minutes demold time on the 266, but we want to make sure that the FP-40 is completely cured. So typically after I pour my foam, I usually give it about an hour to fully cure before I demold. So this is about an hour later, and now ready to check out Brian's head. Now this is a good time to mention that I will be linking all of the products that I used in this video in the video description, so check that out, and including the flocking colors. So definitely check out all of the links in the video description, as well as the links on the end screen for the other videos that I mentioned earlier. Now this does have fairly thin ears, so I want to carefully demold those ears, and that's one of the things where using that skin of FP-40 is really helpful. Since Brian's ears, I wanted to keep those true to form. I didn't want to have to add any clay to thicken up his ears, so in order to get his ears to realistically come out, I just did those in the FP-40 and then backed it with foam, because foam by itself, getting that into those ears would be really tricky to get that and get it accurate without trapping air bubbles. And there we have our cured Brian head. Now at this point we can paint this. I typically like to clean this up and paint it as soon as possible, and painting I typically do that with SC94. So definitely check out the end screen. I will link to the painting process, one of the painting tutorials I've done with using the SC94. So there you have the process of casting a prop head using FP-40 for a skin material and backing it with TC266 flexible foam. And of course we can use that mold to cast a lot of duplicates of Brian's head. Who knows what will happen to these guys when they go out to Storyteller Effects. They might get blown up. We will see what the future holds for Brian's polyurethane head. And of course all the materials can be found at bjbmaterials.com. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting the channel. And don't forget the end screen. I'll link those other tutorials that I mentioned right here on the end screen.